Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your March 2021 general reading. We are looking at the first 2 weeks of March from the 1st through the 15th, and this reading is for the fire sign of Aries. Welcome everyone. Thanks for tuning in, for everything you do in support of this channel. Your likes, shares, hitting that subscribe button, donations, comments, feedback, reaching out for personal readings. It's all welcome and appreciated. Thank you. So this reading is for the fire sign of Aries for the first half of March 2021. That is if your sun, moon, rising, or Venus is in Aries, or if you're cross-watching for an Aries. It's all relevant, but of course it's a general reading. It's going to resonate a little differently for everyone. So if you know all of your signs, watch them. It can help bring in additional insight. If you find that any of the readings resonate with you and you'd like to reach out for a personal reading, click on the description link below. Click on that little arrow. You'll see my email address there, Maggie, the number 1, McGuire@gmail.com. Feel free to email me. I can usually get back to you the same day. I do offer a wide variety of readings, and I do readings full time, so I'm pretty diligent at working with my schedule and your schedule to get those readings set up in as timely a fashion as possible. So email me if you're interested. I'd be happy to hear from you. Okay, Aries, let's see what the first 2 weeks of March have in store for you. Okay, we begin with the World, followed by the 8 of Wands. Some of you are traveling, and it might be international or global traveling. I know, but still, that's what I'm seeing for some of you. We have the Knight of Swords, the 2 of Wands. I think some of you are traveling or making plans to travel, and it could be a shorter distance, but for some of you it looks like global travel or international travel, or you're trying to make up your mind. There's some kind of movement forward, an ending and a moving forward and moving upwards, and a lot of activity, action, conversations, planning around that, trying to figure out how to do it, when to do it, or make some other kind of decisions around it. The Page of Wands. And the 9 of Cups. I don't know if I like that energy. It feels very impulsive, spontaneous, irrational, but almost in a childlike or childish sort of way, just going after your wish fulfillment, just going after what you want because it's what you want. I mean, fair enough, but it feels a little rash, too hasty. From the bottom of the deck, your overall energy or focus for the first half of March is the 5 of Wands, so conflict. And I mean, this could be, sometimes this is competitive energy, fighting about the same thing over and over again, gossip, rumor mongering, office drama. It might be that, and it might be that you're just making plans to get out of Dodge because you want to avoid it. In a relationship issue, this would be, conflict, but it's usually conflict about the same issue or issues, kind of going around and around and around about it. So what's that about? We've got the World and the 8 of Wands here. So the World is the last major arcana card. It represents a final completion and a moving on to the next thing. Once you graduate, you don't go back and repeat the same grade because you graduated. So it's moving up to the next level. It's also a card that can represent the World Wide Web, electronic communication, and travel, but it would be global travel, like travel outside of the country or to another country. And with it, we have the 8 of Wands, which is a card also that can represent travel, communication, plans around activity and action and movement and communication, and around going to the next level. We have the Knight of Swords here, which represents action, activity, news, information, research, with the 2 of Wands, so being at a crossroads, trying to make up your mind, trying to make a decision about something. It feels like you're trying to make decisions around this moving to the next level. But then here at the end, we have the Page of Wands and the 9 of Cups, which I have kind of a cautious feeling about, because pages are by their very nature on the immature side. They're the ideas, the dreamers, and the Page of Wands is the most spontaneous and impulsive of all of them because he's governed by the energy of fire. So this is somebody, It's your energy, Aries, but this is somebody who's acting like a child or who's being an impulsive and rash and spontaneous as a child. And fair enough. I mean, it's a card that can represent play too. But the Page of Wands comes with the Nine of Cups, which is wish fulfillment, getting what you want, especially in a visceral way, you know, kind of like the lottery, whatever your wish fulfillment is. But it feels like acting here, it feels like acting rashly or too spontaneously with disregard for the consequences of it. And this may be about a relationship, or it may be that the nature of the conflict is about your decision to do this thing, whatever this thing is, because you're chasing your, you know, your shooting star kind of. Don't shoot the messenger. That's just kind of what I'm getting here. And for some of you, this might be reversed. It might be that this is a person, this energy is the energy of the person close to you, but it would have to be really close to you, like someone you're really involved with. Let's clarify a little bit. Clarify the Five of Wands. What's the source of this conflict? And the Five of Wands also implies, particularly for relationships, that whatever it is you're going the rounds about, this is the same issue. You guys have kind of been fighting or disagreeing about this issue before, maybe multiple times before. Oh my goodness. The Five of Wands is clarified by the Five of Wands. So it's definitely something you guys have been, or this conflict is not a new conflict, it's an old one. The Two of Wands. Look at all these repeating cards. We have Two of Wands, being at a crossroads, making a decision. The Three of Cups. The party card, socializing, being with your friends, your tribe. The Two of Swords, being blind to anything else. Not wanting to look at perhaps something in front of you, or reluctance or resistance to look at maybe the reality of something. Right, okay. Probably this is one of those readings where I'm going to get comments from Aries going, why are you ragging on us? Because it may come across that way. But it feels like you, Aries, or perhaps the other person, somebody close to you, is making a decision to go towards something that, you know, maybe traveling to where it's more fun, or travel. I mean, we have wish fulfillment. We have the Three of Cups. These are cards about just not caring about anything, having fun, filling your stomach and your wine glass, and just socializing and being with the people that, you know, are fun to party with, that you kind of connect with. But it's a source of conflict. It's a source of repeated conflict. That the decision, either somebody is viewing this decision that you're making as something that you keep doing in disregard for how it affects them, particularly if it's someone you're in a relationship with, or again, you could reverse this. The Two of Swords is reluctance or resistance to look at something that's right in front of you. This decision, you know, it's like traveling to go be with your friends or family or something and socializing. And fair enough, nothing wrong with that, except, you know, what we're all living through with the pandemic. And perhaps this person is a person that gets left behind. And maybe that's the source of the conflict, you know, because it feels rash and impulsive. And again, we all do these things, but it feels like the consequences of it on another person is something you don't want to look at. Or if it's reversed, the other person doesn't want to look at that. But it feels like whoever is the one making plans to go to do the thing because it's what they want, because it's fun, and it's not fun here, and I'm going to go where there's fun, is doing it disregarding or heedless of the effects or consequences that it has on somebody else because they want what they want. That's kind of what it feels like. Let's clarify a little bit more. Let's clarify the Two of Wands. What's the decision-making energy about? The Knight of Cups, whether or not to make an offer, perhaps a love offer. The Two of Cups to a soulmate. The Fool and the Ace of Pentacles, to come along with them, to move in with them, to come along with them and make a home with them. Let me lay these out again. So there's this being at a crossroads energy about making an offer to somebody you see as a soulmate, the Ace of Pentacles and the Fool, taking a chance, going on travel, moving in together, making a home together. There's so much energy around travel, going somewhere, moving up, moving on, and whether or not to make somebody else a part of that, which is probably, particularly for those of you for whom this is a relationship reading, which is probably the nature of a conflict. Maybe you're going back and forth and go back and forth and go back and forth, and you leave your person behind, or you leave your person behind a lot of the time. So it's a source of conflict, continued conflict. And again, you can reverse this as well. And it looks like you're ready to kind of now move on, and maybe move on permanently, maybe make a home out of the place that you go to, or you have a home there and you're deciding to stay there more, or live there most of the time or something. And you're wondering if you should make that offer also to your person. And if so, how do you go about doing that? But then it looks like you just take off and go chase after the thing that you want, the party, the celebration, the abundance, the food, the wine, all the things. Don't shoot the messenger. But somebody here, it feels like, is acting somewhat spontaneously in a way that negatively affects another person that they're involved with, in a way that's not altogether cool. Again, it might be somebody else doing this to you, Aries, as well. Let's clarify the Page of Wands. Because the Page of Wands gets an idea in his head and really goes off to do it. Doesn't think about it, doesn't really plan for it, doesn't consider how it's going to affect other people, because he's a page. And why is he off and running? Because he's chasing the lottery, his thing, the enjoyment, the fun, the parties, the social stuff. The High Priestess in reverse, not listening to your intuition, not paying attention to what your gut or your intuition is telling you, because of the Nine of Cups, because all you can see is the fun, the thing, the abundance, what you want. Or this could be the other person too. Now, because the Two of Cups showed up, I really feel like, for those of you for whom this is relationship, you're quite connected to the other person. You care about them deeply, or even love them. You see them as your person. But either you or they are acting immaturely and rashly here with significant disregard for how their actions are affecting somebody else. And it's happened before, because it looks like it's a source of continued conflict. So let's clarify that Nine of Cups. What is this Nine of Cups about for Aries? The Eight of Cups and the World again. Yeah, this is leaving for good. This is going somewhere and leaving for whatever your wish fulfillment is, whatever that end goal or end dream is for you. It feels like actually physically leaving. It could be that you've decided to make your home somewhere else and only come back occasionally, and you're wondering, okay, how does my person fit into this? But you want to leave for good. And thus is the source of the conflict, either for you or for your person, or it could be the other person that's doing this and you're feeling like this, how is this going to fit? How's this going to work together? Or do I even want to? I'm going to stop it here. I'm not going to go any deeper in this, because it's going to, it's going to vary in the specifics, because it's a general reading. So let's pull some advice and guidance cards for Aries. The Emperor, the sign of Aries. Be the Emperor. The Emperor makes decisions based on the greater good of what's best for his empire and the people in his empire. This is a person who does not act with his own selfish motives. He can be kind of controlling and kind of stubborn and very locked into certain ways of doing things, because he has an empire to run. And that's a pretty big job. But he typically makes decisions based on the greater good of the people in his empire, which comprises empire. So this is about being accountable, responsible, disciplined. So this is not acting like a Page of Wands here. The Seven of Wands, defending and protecting that which you have the most invested in, what's most important to you, what you have the most, invested in, the most important to you, because that's what this man is defending, the home to his castle, his keep, or whatever. It might be a relationship. So this is about deciding what's most important to you and being as responsible about that as possible, because otherwise you may lose it. If the emperor acts like a page, he's going to lose his empire, because he's going to have to, a page can't be an emperor or a king. You'd have to abdicate your throne and give up everything that goes along with it. Again, this could be the other person. And the Five of Cups is the last advice card. Don't make a decision you're going to regret, because this is a person who's grieving over what was in the cups. It's been tipped over, so it's lost. You can't put it back in there. So it's about, not making a decision that you're later going to regret, because, what we can see here with that High Priestess in reverse with the Page, you're not listening to your intuition because you have whatever this Nine of Cups represents for you in front of you. So you're just rushing off to pursue it, but you're being called to a higher standard of behavior in terms of considering what's best for the person or people around you as well. That's kind of what I'm getting. It's felt very almost kind of like a bit lectury, and I'm sorry about that, Aries. Again, this could be, the roles could be reversed here. It could be that you're in a close relationship with somebody who's doing this, and you're like, but hey, this is affecting me this way, and I can't deal with this anymore. You're going to lose. You do this, you're going to regret it. Or you do it this way, you're going to regret it. If you're not going to make me a part of something, then you're not going to have me in the end. That's what I'm getting, whether it's you or another person. That's really what I'm getting. So you have to decide what's more important to you, or how to maybe fit both of them together. And fair enough, if kind of like whatever your Nine of Cups, Page of Wands is more important than the other person, then fair enough, go do that thing. But if that's the situation, Aries, it feels like you're going to lose the other person, like for good. Or vice versa. All right, I'll stop there because it feels like a lecture-y kind of reading. So, so I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm just going to end it here. I hope that at least for some of you, this reading was helpful. Again, if any of the readings resonate with you and you'd like to reach out, take a deeper look at something, get a personal reading, email me directly at maggie1maguire@gmail.com. You can also get that info by clicking on the description link below. I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the March mid-month readings. Until then, stay safe, stay well, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.